All right, Matt, it is co-main event time. UFC Auckland coming at us from Auckland, New Zealand this Saturday. And listen, this is a really fun co-main event because we have Jimmy Crute taking on Michal Oleksiejczuk. He's probably a fan of the singer. She is from New Zealand, and his favorite song is most likely Royals. Now, Matt, this is a really fun fight because we have two guys that have been finished in their last fight by very, very weird submissions.
Unique ones.
Michal Oleksiejczuk being finished by Vince St. Preux by Von Flue. Jimmy Crute losing to Misha Cirkunov by Peruvian necktie. You don't see those every single day in MMA, but this fight, apart from that, is very exciting and interesting because Jimmy Crute, we've seen it. It was a huge win streak before that one loss. Michal Oleksiejczuk was on a roll as well. Had the no contest against Khalil Roundtree due to USADA suspension. But apart from that, just finishing people left, right, and center, each of these guys can certainly finish one another. I would certainly give, and it's weird to say that because the stats don't show it, but Jimmy Crute, a wrestling advantage over Michal Oleksiejczuk, but the power and the striking certainly goes in Oleksiejczuk's favor. How do you see this one going?
I think I'm just going to be first name basis with Michael because I can openly admit I can't pronounce his last name no matter what. Michael's better at everything. I don't see a situation where he loses this fight. I know he got caught by, I'm just going to call it the Von Preux at this point. I know he got caught by OSP and this Von Flue choke. See, I did it by mistake. But Jim Crute, he's good. He's not great, though. And we've seen in his game, he kind of slows down in this weird way, where he hits a wall and then becomes really sloppy with his technique. We saw it in the Paul Craig fight. I know he won by submission in the last round, but up until that point, it was really touch and go there. He gets tired, and then he kind of throws his technique out the window. And if he does that against my boy Michael, it's going to be really tough, just because he has such big power. He goes to the body. That Jean Vellante fight really opened my eyes to how good he is, because he just landed kind of a right straight to the body that wasn't anything unique, and Jean Vellante folded after that shot. So you really have to watch out for the power of him. Jim Crute, the keys, he's good at to keep it on the outside and in kicking range. Crute does one thing that not a lot of light heavyweights do, throws head kicks, and he throws really good ones at that. So if I'm him, I want to stay on the outside for as long as possible. I'd avoid as many grappling exchanges as I can, just because the more grappling he does, probably the more fatigue he's going to get, and that's something that you really got to worry for, because I feel like Jim Crute, if he's going to lose this fight, he gets tired and then he's finished later on in the fight. For all that being said, I'm going to pick Michal Oleksiejczuk by decision.
If Jim Crute's gonna win, I think he has to get it to the ground early, because if not, you're gonna lose on the feet to Michal Oleksiejczuk. And it's one of those tough ones where, and I said Jim Crute has a wrestling advantage. I should have prefaced it with saying early on in the fight, he has the advantage early on in the fight. But as it wears on, you have to consider to favor Oleksiejczuk. I might have mentioned it, but Oleksiejczuk a minus 140 favorite to Crute at plus 115 out of 562 votes over on Tapology. 54% going Oleksiejczuk, 74% picking him by knockout. Kind of surprising. I mean, we've seen Jim Crute look great in the UFC, but I'm going to also side with Oleksiejczuk. I think he's going to be able to get it done. It's just as to, what's the ceiling of either of these
That's
guys.
what I was about to say, and I was about to use that exact term. I feel like Jimmy Crute has a higher ceiling. It's just this.
Really?
I do. I feel like he has a lot more potential going forward. His skill set can... there's just a lot more openings that he can go, and if he does really develop a great grappling and striking and fix his cardio, he can be in that top 15 of the division. I think it's a little too early in his career, though, and I'm going to say Oleksiejczuk wins by stoppage, actually.
I'm taking Oleksiejczuk as well, but I'm really looking forward to this one. I mean, high ceilings out of both these guys realistically, and you're not going to want to miss the rest of our predictions for UFC Auckland. 5 minutes for the main event. We're previewing the main card and the prelims, so you're not going to want to miss those. The Fight Night Picks, as always, Matt. Let's get into it.